Yep. Just had to make sure the cap was okay before the game. Me and Randy Bullock both. Bengals Chargers. The rematch. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. A matchup I think we're going to see for years to come here. An electric matchup between these two. Gonna see a lot of back and forth between what looks to be two of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL going forward here. Chargers beat the Bengals in round one. Bengals gonna play in Cincinnati against the Chargers this season. This is a big matchup. Bengals 7-4, Chargers 6-5. Big matchup. It's big enough that we actually wrote some stuff down there on a little piece of paper here today. Make sure you got the facts straight, I guess. One thing that stood out to me looking over this matchup, there was no secret going into last week's game for the Chargers as well, is they struggle to stop the run game. They struggle enough to be considered the worst team in the NFL at stopping the run. The Bengals have clearly made it known that they want to take Joe Mixon and ride him as much as they possibly can throughout this season. Mixon has been on a tear of late here. Big improvement on his offensive line from last year to this. But we've seen a lot of cases here. Mixon stopped in backfield. Mixon getting nothing on a play where he just finds a hole, finds a crease, pushes forward, grinds forward 3-4 extra yards, turns something into nothing or nothing into something. He's been playing the best way we've been terming it this year. He's been playing as a very feisty runner. And the Chargers are going to have a very hard time stopping that. The Chargers, who are also 24th when it comes to sacking opposing teams' quarterbacks. Now, their pass defense, it's better. It's a lot better than the run defense, but the problem the Bengals tend to have is when Burrow gets pressured, when he doesn't have time to throw the football, that's where their offense starts to slow down. But if Burrow's not getting pressured, Joe Mixon's running that football up and down this field, this Bengals offense is very, very hard to stop. You get this Bengals offense some confidence, you get this Bengals team some confidence, and you really see what happens. Look what happened against Pittsburgh last week. When things get going, they get going. So if you're the Chargers, it's pretty obvious here. This game's going to rely on Justin Herbert, very good quarterback, to not make mistakes. In the loss the Chargers had this season, Justin Herbert, 7 touchdowns, 8 INTs. In the wins the Chargers had this season, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And it's such a big deal for a team like the Chargers because when you get that negative game script, sure, you can pass the ball. Herbert's more than capable of moving it up and down the field, but when you got the negative game script, that allows the other team to pound that rock, which is your defense's Achilles heel, which means you're keeping your defense on the field longer. You're giving opposing teams' defenses plenty of time to rest. You lose the possession game, and then you start to talk about Justin Herbert getting pressured a lot. We've seen him get hit quite a few times this season, really. And if you're going to allow an opposing team's defense, like the Bengals, which is important because it really is a front four. It really is the Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson show. When these guys have time to catch their breath, they have time, a lot of energy throughout this game. They wreak absolute havoc on opposing team quarterbacks. They can force mistakes. And those guys have to get home if you're the Bengals. They have to get home early. Bengals have to jump ahead early if they want to win this football game. You keep it close. It could be a game that comes down to the final, drive. Who gets the ball last year? Because I still think this is a Chargers offense. The Bengals played really well against the Steelers last week. They played really well against them twice now. We've seen this Bengals defense kind of go back and forth, if you will. Good, bad, good, bad. I think this is a matchup where the Chargers are favored to make the Bengals defense look bad. We'll see how they play because, again, Eckler, one of the best receiving backs in the NFL. You got Williams, you got Keenan Allen out there. They're tough to match up against. Really tough to match up against, and especially when you got that Bengals Achilles heel there. You got to worry about Jared Cook as well. I got guys that can beat you all over the field here. And I don't bring this up very often, but this might be one of those games where you want the football first. Both teams. You see what happens when the team plays with the lead with confidence. Typically, you never want that to be the situation. You want to have a chance to double up going into the 2-minute warning, going into the third. But after seeing the way the Bengals play when they get a lead, and seeing how much that favors the Bengals, if they get a lead, they have the ability to continue to stay with their game plan of run. That makes their chances of winning go up severely. Meanwhile, Chargers jump ahead early and force the Bengals into some more obvious passing downs throughout this game. They do have pass rushers on this team that get to the quarterback. Again, one of the things with the Chargers is they've got to be put in them situations. They've won a lot of close games. They've lost a lot of close games where it's really allowed teams to kind of stick to the game plan of pounding that rock against the Chargers. But hey, make them guys fall behind, force them to throw the football. That may very well favor the Chargers in this one. I still think those Bengals team's going to be too much to handle for the Chargers. We talked about the run game. We haven't even mentioned how much better Joe Burrow plays when he sees a team for the second time. This will be the second time in his career he's seen the Chargers. Pretty similar to last season, Chargers out of this season, as far as what you would expect on the field going up against them. Favors the Bengals. I'm saying the Bengals come into this game playing strong. I say it's close, though. 31-27, high-scoring game. Could very well come down to last possession or a crucial turnover throughout this game. We'll see what happens. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.